Alright, so let's talk about tomes and Megabonk, because let's be honest, these things can totally make or break your entire run. You only get to carry 4 of them at a time, which means every single pick actually matters. Choose the right combo and you'll feel unstoppable, tanking hits and melting bosses like it's nothing. But grab the wrong ones, and you'll be wondering why your run ended 5 minutes in. In today's video, we're ranking every single tome in Megabonk from best to worst. Some of them are absolute game changers that can carry your entire build, while others, well, they might look cool, but they don't really pull their weight. So grab a snack, get comfy, and let's dive into the Megabonk Tome tier list to see which ones truly deserve a spot in your loadout. I'm quickly moving on to the video, and I'm ranking tomes in Megabonk. Before we start, if you enjoy these types of list videos, don't forget to like the video and subscribe. Enjoy watching. The tomes in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Cursed and Silver. You know that feeling when a tome shows up and you just know it's going to ruin your entire run? Yeah, welcome to the D tier section. The why would you do this to yourself tomes. Let's start with Cursed. This one is basically hard mode in book form. It powers up every enemy you face. More damage, more health, and even more speed. It's like giving your opponents an energy drink and a gym membership at the same time. The only reason you'd ever pick this thing up is if you're chasing a high score or trying to unlock the corrupted sword. Otherwise, just no. Life's already hard enough. Then there's Silver, the most meh tome of them all. Sure, it gives you more silver currency from every source, but unless you're desperately grinding for unlocks, it's a total waste of a slot. Think of it like bringing a piggy bank to a boss fight. It's not going to save you. If you don't need silver right now, skip it and grab something that actually helps you survive. The tomes in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Regen, Gold, Shield, Knockback, Attraction, Chaos, and HP. You ever pick up a tome and think, hey, that sounds kinda cool, only to realize 5 minutes later it's basically doing nothing for you? Yeah, welcome to the C tier, also known as the pretty niche but not totally useless section. These tomes can work, just not all the time. They're like that one friend who's fun in small doses but absolutely disappears when things get serious. Let's start with Regen. On paper, it sounds amazing. Healing more health points per minute? Sign me up! But in practice, it's just too slow. Sure, every character has some natural regeneration, and this speeds it up a bit, but once you hit the late game and enemies start coming at you like a Black Friday crowd, that little bit of healing won't save you. Unless you've been investing in it the whole run, it just can't keep up. Lifesteal, on the other hand, gives you instant results. Hit enemies, get health. No waiting, no praying. Now, Golden might seem flashy. Who doesn't like gold raining from the sky, right? But unless you're playing Robinette, this one's kind of a scam. Robinette gets stronger with more gold, so for her, this tome is like finding free steroids. For everyone else, it's basically extra pocket change. Unless you plan on going full shopping spree mode and buying out every shop you see, this tome is just taking up space. Shield tries to sound defensive, but it's more like a one-time favor. It gives you a small barrier that absorbs damage before your health takes a hit, sounds solid until it breaks, and then does absolutely nothing. You can combine it with armor or evasion for some extra survivability, but honestly, there are better defensive options that don't vanish after one hit. Then we've got Knockback, which is like a tiny bit of crowd control sprinkled on your attacks. It pushes enemies away, which can be clutch early on, or if you're using something like the shotgun that already packs a punch. But here's the thing, pushing enemies back doesn't mean much if you're not dealing solid damage or healing with lifesteal. It just delays the inevitable. You're not winning. You're just buying yourself a few awkward seconds of peace. Attraction is basically the lazy person's tome. It pulls experience drops from farther away. And yeah, it's nice to not have to run all over the map to pick things up. But here's the issue. The Suck Shrine does the exact same thing, and if you get the Sucky Magnet item, this tome instantly becomes useless. It's like carrying an umbrella indoors. Completely unnecessary. And finally, Chaos and HP. Two tomes that sit right on the edge of being good, but never quite make it. Chaos boosts a random stat, which sounds fun until it decides to buff something you don't care about. It's a gamble. Great for the thrill seekers, not so much for the planners. Meanwhile, the HP tome gives you more maximum health, which is always nice, but it's not game-changing. More lifesteal or defense will save you way more runs than a slightly bigger health bar ever will. The tomes in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, agility, projectile, luck, thorns, and precision. Alright, now we're moving into B tier. The pretty good but kinda picky tomes. These are the ones that can totally shine in the right setup, but if you just grab them randomly, they're not going to carry you. Think of them like that one coworker who's amazing when motivated, but half asleep the rest of the time. Let's kick things off with agility. Moving faster is always nice. Who doesn't love dodging enemy attacks like a pro? It helps you kite enemies and dance around danger, but the problem is, they never stop coming. You can outrun a few, sure, but eventually, they'll just form a parade behind you. Agility works best when your build deals damage while you move, like with passive or area of effect attacks. Otherwise, it's like running laps with a bunch of angry monsters chasing you for fun. Next up, projectile speed. This one sounds powerful, but don't get it twisted. It's not the same as attack speed. You're not firing more shots. Your shots are just traveling faster. It's decent if you're using ranged weapons and pair it with the cooldown tome, but on its own, it's a bit meh. Faster bullets don't mean much if your damage isn't there. Still, it's a nice little boost for accuracy and hitting fast-moving targets. Then we have luck, the gambler's favorite. This tome boosts your odds of getting better rewards from chests, shrines, and level-ups. Sounds great, right? And it is useful, especially if you're hunting for rare weapon upgrades. But remember, it's still all about probability. You might hit the jackpot, or get absolutely nothing. It's a risk-reward situation, and if you're okay rolling the dice, luck can definitely spice up your run. Thorns brings a whole different vibe. It's basically revenge damage. Enemies hit you, and they take a chunk of damage back. Sounds cool in theory, and it actually works if you're building a tanky character who can take a few hits. But if your defense is weak, you'll go down before Thorns does anything meaningful. It's not for everyone, but if you're rocking armor and health upgrades, this tome turns you into a walking landmine. And finally, precision, the critical hit king. More crit chance means more burst potential, but it doesn't work miracles on its own. You'll need solid base damage and some critical damage boosts to really feel it. Without that, all the crits in the world won't help you much. Still, if your build is already leaning into raw damage, precision can push it to the next level. It's that satisfying boom you get when everything lines up just right. The tomes in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Evasion, Duration, Size, XP, and Bloody. Now we're getting into the A tier, and this is where things start to feel really good. These tomes aren't just nice to have, they can completely change how your run feels. They make you stronger, faster, and way harder to kill. Sure, they're not flawless, but in the right setup, you'll feel unstoppable. Let's start with Evasion, the ultimate nope button. This tome gives you a chance to completely dodge incoming attacks. And if you're using a katana, a successful dodge can trigger a deadly counterattack that sometimes deletes enemies on the spot. It's stylish, satisfying, and saves your life more often than you'd expect. The only catch? If something does hit you, it's gonna hurt. So, pair it with some extra health or armor to avoid turning your dodge build into a glass cannon. Next, we've got Duration, which is one of those secretly busted tomes if you know how to use it. Weapons like the spinning axes or lingering projectiles benefit massively from this one, since it extends how long those effects stick around. Not every weapon takes advantage of Duration, but for the ones that do, oh boy, you're gonna melt enemies without even realizing it. It's perfect for passive damage builds or any setup that keeps hurting enemies while you move. Then comes Size, and honestly, who doesn't love bigger attacks? Your bullets, sword swings, and arrows all grow in range, letting you hit more enemies with every strike. It doesn't increase your raw damage or attack rate, but the wider area means more enemies get caught in the chaos. Combine it with strong damage boosts or lifesteal, and suddenly your entire screen becomes a danger zone. XP might sound simple, but it's one of those quietly broken tomes. More experience means faster leveling, and faster leveling means more upgrades, more damage, and more synergy with other tomes. Sure, you still need a bit of luck with what upgrades you're offered, but when you're rolling more often, good things are bound to happen. It's like turning on cheat codes for your growth rate. And finally, the fan favorite, Bloody. This is your lifesteal tome, and it's an absolute game changer for aggressive builds. Every time you hit something, you heal a bit. It doesn't seem huge at first, but when you're constantly attacking, that tiny bit of healing adds up fast. You'll barely notice your health dropping because it just bounces right back. Pair Bloody with a high attack speed or wide area weapon, and you'll feel like a vampire that refuses to die. The tomes in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, armor, damage, quantity, and cooldown. Now we've made it to the big leagues, the S-tier tomes. These are the absolute best of the best, the ones you grab every single time you see them. No gimmicks, no only works if nonsense, just pure consistent power that makes every run smoother, stronger, and way more fun. If you're lucky enough to get these early, you're basically on a victory lap. Let's start with armor, because this tome is your best friend when things get chaotic. It straight up reduces the damage you take from enemies, and that's a big deal in Megabonk. There aren't many reliable ways to cut down incoming damage, so every bit counts. With armor, you can survive hits that would normally end your run, which makes it perfect for long sessions or boss fights. It doesn't matter what character you're using, everyone benefits from taking less pain. Then there's damage, the universal favorite. No tricks here, it just makes everything you do hit harder. As your run goes on, enemies get tankier and meaner, and this tome keeps you ahead of the curve. You can level up individual weapons all you want, but damage boosts everything at once, from bullets to blades to spells. If you ever have to choose between this and something situational, always pick damage. More power is never a bad thing. Quantity and cooldown are the final two heavy hitters, and together, they're absolutely insane. Quantity increases how many projectiles your weapons fire, which is ridiculously strong on anything that shoots or throws. Suddenly, your screen's filled with bullets, daggers, or lasers, and enemies barely get the chance to breathe. Cooldown, on the other hand, speeds up how often you attack. It works with every weapon in the game. More attacks means more damage, more lifesteal, and way faster crowd control. Just remember to pair it with some damage boosts, because swinging faster doesn't help much if you're slapping enemies with a wet noodle. These 4 tomes are your endgame dream team. Armor keeps you alive, damage melts enemies, quantity floods the screen, and cooldown turns you into a non-stop machine. If you stack them together, well, congratulations, you're officially the final boss now. The video ends here. See you in another video. Don't forget to subscribe.